between the major connection features all around. So let me just see if I can zoom in a little bit. It says that the commission they use the connection to the single factors of this revenue growth and margins. Any moment from we can be starting this morning. Just give change of what's allowed to still weird features I make it near where this is simple as well here. The main is issues with presence. That's it. So keep following the light very well to keep it trying to keep happiness here. So anyways, I can turns it's also the routing. Previously is identified transmission edition. say martial life from your AOC level of white and my compromise from and broadcast. I don't share it. See, just
这个我的，还有这里面放一百，我是不是在这
team for this good job done. Comes from some this good job. John David, good art, Yama Williams, Washington. Again, Patrick Kenny is from Australia. So Patrick has joined So there's a good news for us. It's good news as a country to celebrate. It's good news that utilize to make use So let's look at it. some of the faces. So it's a huge revenue growth tool that we see fundamentally by Brown. He didn't stick away writing in front of the he just made his contribution on the live broadcast. So the program began like the official commission's ceremony of the ABC Convention to the Singapore factory. It's a kind of huge, very, very huge box. It tells you that the current Liberian management team, yes, like its chief executive officer, is doing all they can to improve themselves in their
Two vocals are ABC and Singapore.
Oh yeah, very good, excellent.
So, ambassadors, officials of person, and it is starting is one important ceremony goals.
Good morning, everybody. We are waiting on the arrival of the ministers of finance and lands and mines. We have been informed that they will be here shortly. As soon as they get here, we will commence. Thanks so much.
You just heard from Mrs. Senator stated clear that we are now waiting the arrival of the Minister of Finance and lands, mines, and energy. So as soon as they arrive, we going to get started with this important ceremony. So that's it. So in the meantime, between time, while we await the arrival of the two ministers for finance and we're going to be doing this bit by bit, keeping you updated, keeping the broadcast close to the chest too. We can get started with this one important event. So the MC has just clearly stated out that awaiting the arrival of the Minister of Finance and of the Minister of Finance. Lens in here. So it's they both around the when we want to get to started this important ceremony today marks the official commissioning ceremony of the NEC connection to the cement core that definitely going to boost in revenue growth and everything. So it's quite amazing in here and wonderful. Couples of Liberian journalists who I also here to provide a comprehensive media coverage as relates to this newest development that may implement. So it's a kind of joint partnership. Very Kenan says, I'm watching from the old road community. That's where she says she's following the live broadcast from the old road community. That's where she's watching from. So moon is also. So we're still here. See him is where we are personally. We're waiting to arrive up against. But for now, we are waiting the two ministers, Lensman and Minister Webber Kamara, Minister of Finance and Development Planning. And also Minister Women P, Minister of Mines and Energy. So these are the two ministers that we are waiting as soon as they arrive. The program is going to get started. So in the meantime, let's come and see who are those again. For the broadcast and everything. Thanks. By Musa Muhammad Kehita. So I'm watching live from the central model by Musa Muhammad Kehita comes second time around saying good news for the country, good news for you, and also good news for Semenko. Thank you. You kept saying I'm watching live from the community. It's also him. Roman P is greeting the CEO. Officials are already. So the minister, one of the ministers that just a moment here and see what we can do closely. See what was also question. Just be patient with all the part and we can start. Just a little while.
Good morning, everybody. I'd like to unofficially welcome you to this commissioning program of the LEC connection to the cement factory. I am your MC, Lavetta Sandolo. We'll now have welcome remarks by Edward V. Kolecki, Administrative Assistant at Cement.
Good morning, everyone. With all due respect to protocol, I would firstly like to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you that have gathered here today for the commissioning of our LEC program. You see, rather than saying we're celebrating, I would like to emphasize on this moment as commissioning. We're gathered here today to mark a significant milestone in our collaboration with the Liberian Electricity Corporation and Cement. You see, this partnership will actually connect us to a national grid, which is a crucial advancement for both our company and Liberia as a whole. This partnership, we are honored to have each and every one of you here at this historical moment, which is a significant step for our company, but also it holds a it is worth noting today, and I stand to be corrected, that the Liberian Cement Corporation, Cementco, is the first biggest company, or I would say the first cement manufacturing company to be connected to the LEC, which is a commitment to our, I would say, drastic and innovative steps we are choosing to take in the industry. Again, I would like to say thank you all for joining us, and we will have a fruitful partnership with LEC. Thank you again.
We also like to recognize the presence of some officials and partners. I'd like to recognize the presence of the Minister of Mines and Energy, Honorable Wilmot Payne. I'd like to recognize the presence of the Deputy Minister of Budget, if I'm right, Honorable Lieutenant Bronson. We also like to recognize the presence of the head of delegation of the European Union, Ambassador Nona Dibri. We also like to recognize the cluster head of Heidelberg Cement, Honorable Hubert Frank. We also like to recognize the CEO of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, Honorable Mani Kaptan. We also like to recognize his Deputy CEO, We'd like to also recognize the Deputy Minister of Public Works, Honorable Josiah. We like to recognize the head of the Liberia Chamber of Commerce, the President, Honorable Nadibi David, and every one of you who have come to grace this unique occasion. The LEC family, the Semenko family, the media, we say thank you all, and the different partners, we say thank you all for coming. We're going to have introduction to the program, and that will be done by the Managing Director of Semenko, Honorable William Stanley. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for your presence, Minister, this distinguished guest, my colleague from my Liberian Chamber of Commerce, my dear colleague from the European Chamber of Commerce, and all my colleagues at Semenko and PDC. So today is a day of celebration and hope for Liberia. We are gathering here to mark the signing of the partnership contract between LSE and Semenko. From May 1st, this partnership took effect, concretizing long months of hard work and cooperation between our two entities. This serious and ambitious agreement is the fruit of our joint efforts to promote and strengthen the local electricity network. Thanks to this connection to the local network, LSE will not only be able to increase its investment capacities, but also allow Semenko to reduce its dependence on generators. This progress is crucial to improving the reliability of our electricity supply, an essential factor for the economic and social development of our country. In addition, Semenko will be able to benefit from renewable electricity, which is essential in our approach to reducing CO2 emissions. It is undeniable that this agreement goes beyond the simple supply of electricity. It is also represents an exceptional opportunity for exchanges between our two companies. Semenko, as a priority partner, must play a key role in obtaining the supply of cement and ready-mix concrete for LC projects in the future, with qualitative and quantitative offers, but also with the best financial solution. This strategic collaboration will strengthen our infrastructure and development and support the growth of our economy. I would like to thank all the LSE and Semenko teams for their commitment and hard work that made this partnership possible. Together, we are building a brighter and more prosperous future for Liberia. In conclusion, allow me to express my gratitude and pride in this promising partnership. May this be the beginning of a fruitful and lasting collaboration for the benefit of our two societies and for our entire nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable MD. We now call on Honorable Moni Captain, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Liberia Electricity Corporation.
Good morning, everyone. the Honorable Minister of Mines and Energy, the Deputy Minister of Finance, Deputy Minister of Public Works, the President of the Liberia Chamber of Commerce, other executive council members of the Chamber of Commerce, the foster head of Heidelberg, Managing Director of Semenco, other distinguished invited guests, our LEC family, Semenco family. Today is a very important day for us because today represents the connection of LEC's largest customer so far. So it's a milestone in the effort. LEC is a state-owned public utility, and our mandate is to produce and sell electricity to meet the needs of the country. Sorry, I have to stop here. I've just noticed that I left our EU ambassador a critical part of my intro. My apologies. So LEC mandate is to produce and supply electricity to meet the electricity needs of the Republic of Liberia. As most of you know, during the Civil War, LEC lost all of its assets in terms of generation, transmission, and distribution. So we had to rebuild our entire national grid from scratch. So many times when we judge LEC, we tend to think of LEC as a company that's been around for 50 years. But that's not the real story, because we had a large dormant period where we are still rebuilding the national grid. We still have a lot of gaps that we need to rebuild. Thanks to our development partners, they work hand in hand with LEC and the government as a whole through the Ministry of Mines and Energy, that we've been able to accomplish quite a significant amount of progress in getting LEC back to where it is. So I always tend to say to our friends that LEC is a startup. It's a startup because we're just starting again as a company and moving forward. One of the important things is that we want to focus our efforts now towards two major things. One is getting our customers legally connected to the grid, creating access to both private and the business sector and public sector, and now paying very close attention to the energy transition. As you all know, in the past, there was a lot of dependency on fossil fuel-based generation. With the Ukraine war and the financial global crisis, the cost of fuel has doubled, making it extremely difficult. I hear friends say, oh, but how did we manage for so many years on generators? Well, think of the price of fuel all those many years we were using generators, and think of the cost of fuel now. And you realize that you're paying double what you paid before. So the same applies for LEC, and at LEC we have to make that transition going forward towards renewable energy. So this is a strong commitment and a critical part of our strategy moving forward. So we at LEC will be moving towards an energy transition that moves us to renewable green energy. Our business strategy is focused on ensuring that the majority of those that are utilizing our energy are metered and connected. We discovered at one point that almost 98% of those that were involved in illegal connections did not have meters. And so our first strategy was to make sure that we metered them, and immediately we saw that our commercial losses started to reduce significantly. And our next part of our strategy was to retrofit those who have postpaid metering to ensure that we're getting paid on time. And so a lot of entities, business entities, were all transferred to prepaid metering, including some government entities. And we plan to go a step further to ensure that even more government entities are retrofitted towards prepaid metering. Of course, one of the challenges we have is that we need to expand the grid. A very critical objective of the government in terms of poverty reduction is to increase access. And after LEC lost all of its assets, the access rate in Liberia was reduced significantly, one of the lowest in the world. So we are focusing on increasing access by expanding the grid, ensuring that we have proper densification, and all of that is geared towards our ultimate objective of aiding the government in poverty reduction. Because without access to energy, there's very little we can do in terms of benefiting from the economic gains that economic development brings with it. So we are focusing. The future in LEC, where are we going? We are cautiously looking at ensuring that we get more and more commercial entities connected to the national grid. Simeco joins a number of large customers today. We have, for instance, the US Embassy is a customer of LEC. The UN One Plaza is a customer of LEC. We have UCI, Flour Mill, they're a member. TIBA is on LEC, and quite a large number. And I also like to inform you that in the next couple of weeks, the Roberts International Airport will also be connected to LEC grid. So where are we going in terms of our future? We are, through the assistance of the World Bank, will be expanding Mount Coffee. Mount Coffee has an installed capacity of 88 megawatts. We will be expanding Mount Coffee to 148 megawatts, which is quite significant. The financing is there. We're working right now on the procurement process. So that will significantly increase our profile. We're also adding the first utility-size solar plant to LEC generation portfolio. So we'll be adding a 20 megawatt solar plant at Mount Coffee to LEC, and I can tell you that in the next month or two, we will be signing the contract, awarding that contract, and by the end of next year, hopefully we can all gather again and switch on the solar plant, and Liberia then starts to benefit from the first utility-size solar plant. So as you can see, we're going heavily into renewable energy. It's very important for us. But we also have a second strategy underlying that, and that is to integrate and complement different types of renewable energy sources. So for every hydro project that we pursue, we want to ensure that we also have a complement in terms of solar. And one of the reasons we want to do that is, as you know, in the we have this perennial problem that in the rainy season you have excess hydro, but in the dry season you hardly have any hydro production. Well, in the dry season you get excess solar production, but you don't get it in the rainy season. So by complementing the two sources, we can create a nice balance, and rather than relying on fossil fuel-based generation in the dry season, we have solar to compensate for that and reduce our carbon footprints and get Liberia on the road with other countries towards ensuring that we have clean and greener energy in what we do. So the big news is that we are moving forward with building a second hydro greenfield from scratch. We call that SP2. The feasibility study will be ready in the next 6 months. We already have commitments from the World Bank to find we have a solar component also, and we're hoping that that solar component can be a PPP that can bring in private investment to operate the solar component of SP2, which will be up further on the Singapore River. So that's a lot that's happening. And we're happy, and we say a special thank you to Simeco management for having the confidence to work with LEC to make LEC its service provider. This is important because once you have customers like Simeco, I think we encourage other companies to also consider coming onto the LEC grid. I think the more we can do to reduce the number of individual generators around the country, the better it will be for all of us. We thank you, and we believe that having a demanding customer such as Simeco will help us all grow from the experience, from working together, the challenges we'll face as we will face challenges as we move forward, but working together, we resolve them and we build best practices as we move forward. So I want to say a special thank you to everyone that has come here today and to say to you that LEC is growing. There's still a lot of challenges we have. We have to work hard. And part of our key strategy is ensuring that while we work towards energy sovereignty, we also work towards integrating into the regional energy market. And that is why for us, the CLSG project, which is the West African Power Pole Transmission Network, is very key. Because with that, we will be able to trade without major capital investment. We will be able to purchase electricity to Cote d'Ivoire, to Ghana, to Guinea, to various countries. And when we build our capacity, we'll be able to export. And we're praying that the future will create a dynamic energy market that all of us can benefit from. And with that kind of a competition regionally where we can source, not only does it reduce the cost of energy, but it also reduces the level of capital investment that we all have to make. So we're looking forward to that. The director of the project implementation unit of the CLSG Transco is here today. Etienne Bailey, please stand. Thanks for joining us today. So with this mix, we think LEC has a very good future. We look forward to working with all of you, our customers, our development partners, the government of Liberia, to make sure that energy is prioritized and starts to lead the way to economic growth and development. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Honorable Captain. And we can see that LEC is ready for business. I was excited when I heard about the connection of RIA, which is very good. When I move the project, speaking on behalf of Simenco, we will call on the works manager, Mr. Manoj Jha.
Good morning. Honorable ministers, distinguished guests, and fellow colleagues. It is with great pride and enthusiasm that I stand before you today to inaugurate the national grid connections for our cement industry, Simenco. Simenco is going to be one of the largest consumers of energy in our country, which will play a pivotal role in powering economic growth and development. Today marks a significant milestone as we join hands with the National Grid LEC to enhance our energy supply and create a brighter future for our nation. The inauguration of LEC electricity connections is not just a step towards modernization, but it is a leap towards sustainability and economic growth. The availability of reliability and electricity is the backbone of country development. It powers industries, fuels education, enables innovation and growth of local business. It is a spark that will ignite the engine of our country and our economy. Today, we are not just connecting power lines, we are connecting dreams of opportunities. The decision to utilize hydropower for our electricity supply is a bold statement of our commitment to the environment. We are greening electricity, we are generating electricity that is both renewable and free from pollution. This shift from diesel generators to hydroelectricity is a significant stride towards reducing our carbon footprint and combating climate change. By connecting to national grid supplied by LEC, we are minimizing carbon dioxide in the environment. Today is a special day. 5th June is the World Environment Day we are celebrating. So on the day of World Environment, we bid farewell to the diesel generators. We also say goodbye to the excessive carbon dioxide emission they produce. The harmful pollutants that once clouded our skies will be replaced by the clean, fresh air that comes with hydroelectric power. This transition is a testament to our dedication to preserving the health of our planet and our people. The revenue generated from these new connections will be reinvested back into the heart of our community to develop more and more infrastructure projects where the young engineers will have more opportunity to get the job and to contribute their knowledge to develop our country faster. Which has been mentioned by CEO of the LEC that a lot of project for the LEC is going to come in near future. It's already in pipeline and we will sign. Honorable Chief Guest, today's inauguration is not just about infrastructure, but it's about the people, the talented young engineers who will shape our country's future. Our commitment to job creation has been unwavering, and we take pride in having provided employment to many young engineers as we expand our operations. We are proud to announce today that we are giving opportunity to our fresh engineers every year from different universities to gain experiences of industry. We also have appointed several engineers in training to give them industrial experience. We pledge to create even more job opportunities for our nation's youth. Our young engineers will have the privilege of working alongside experienced professionals from the LEC through mentorship programs, workshops, and on-the-job training. Our young engineers will learn about grid stability, load management, fault detection, and emergency response. This knowledge exchange will empower them to become leaders in their field, driving innovation and sustainability. Together with LEC, we will build a stronger, more electrified tomorrow. One where every switch flipped, every kilowatt generated, and every engineer inspired contributes to our collective success. In light of this significant advancement, I extend my deepest gratitude to all visionaries, engineers, managers, and directors who have made this dream a reality. Your unwavering dedication and expertise have been the driving force behind this transformative project. Thank you, and may the spark of innovation continue to illuminate our path forward. Thanks.
Thank you. When I call on Mr. Deli Chobayo, who is the Executive Director for Planning, Minor Connection at the Liberia Electricity Corporation.
Good morning, everyone. Her Excellency, the Ambassador of the European Union, Nana Press, and other members of the diplomatic community are present. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Energy, Honorable Wilmot P., and representatives of the Honorable Minister of Public Works and the Honorable Minister of Finance, and other members of officials of government are present. The CEO of LEC, Honorable Moniraf Kaptan, and other members of the LEC team. The Managing Director of Cementco, William. In January 2023, a team of engineers from the Liberia Electricity Corporation carried out technical assessment to establish the technical and financial requirements to connect the Liberia Electricity Corporation. The Liberia Electricity Corporation has finalized the design for a dedicated circuit for the connection of Cementco to the grid. This circuit is approximately 1 kilometer at 22 kV medium voltage. The circuit emanates from the Stockton Peak substation, which is a 20 MVA substation, and terminates at Cementco, basically providing energy to Cementco through Cementco 7.5 MVA transformer station. It is important to note that this project holds significant mutual value for Cementco and the Liberia Electricity Corporation. From Liberia Electricity Corporation, to positively impact LEC revenue. Additionally, bulk energy consumption by Simenco is expected to have a net positive effect on the reduction of commercial losses. From Simenco perspective, grid connection is expected to lead to an overall reduction in your operating costs, but more importantly, grid connection will also lessen the plant's carbon footprint over the medium to long term, since bulk of LEC energy assets over the next 5 to 10 years is expected to be renewable and sustainable as part of our corporation green transition strategy. As LEC's single largest consumer, we look forward to a long-term and mutual partnership. To conclude, I want to express my heartfelt thanks and appreciation to the CEO of LEC, Honorable Monica Khan, for his visionary leadership and support for the actualization of this project. I want to also appreciate the project team from the planning, engineering, and major connection division, particularly Engineer Miente Wonson, our quality control engineer. He's at the back there. Miente Wonson worked very closely with Engineer Manoj Bois for the realization of this project. I want to also thank all LEC, including our transmission and distribution team, commercial regulatory team, our finance team. A special thanks also go to our Chief Operating Officer, Engineer Kwame Pekena, for his technical guidance on this project. Finally, allow me to express a heartfelt appreciation to the management of Simenco. The delivery of this project, the realization of this project, exemplifies a successful partnership between a public corporation and a private entity. We look forward to a long-term relationship. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before we move to remarks, I'd like to recognize the president of the country manager of the CLSG project, Honorable Jerry Taylor. We now move to remarks, and we will begin with Her Excellency Nolan Tippers, Ambassador, Head of Delegation, European Union.
Good morning to all distinguished guests. Allow me to stand on existing protocol, and let me start by thanking Simenco MD Kenya for inviting me, for inviting the European Union to this really important occasion. And I'm really very happy to be here today, because this is really a truly important milestone. And you know, Simenco is a truly European company that has been established in Liberia for more than half a century and has been pivotal already now in supporting Liberia's development. Also, through your role in the European Chamber of Commerce, it shows also the deep commitment to develop commercial ties and beneficial partnerships between Liberia and Europe. And the European Union-Liberia partnership is built around Liberia's sustainable, inclusive, and green development goals. You know, Europe wants to become the first carbon-neutral continent by 2050. And we have also shown over the years that you can absolutely decouple greenhouse gas emissions from economic growth. And Liberia can do that too. And this is why we support Liberia in its sustainable use of natural resources while conserving its biodiversity, its forests. And this is good for Liberia, it's good for the people of Liberia, but it's also good for the entire world and the people of the entire world, because we live on this one planet together. And in this regard, of course, energy is crucial, and it's really been strategic. And that is why the European Union, over the years, has invested in energy here in Liberia. It is also a key pillar of the external dimension of what we call the Green Deal. This is about decreasing our carbon emissions worldwide. And it's also about providing a better world for everyone's peoples. And of course, energy is also a priority sector for our Global Gateway Strategy, which is our strategy to sustainably connect people in a smart, clean, and secure way. And of course, improving access to energy for all Liberians has been and continues to be a key priority for the European Union. Liberia has this amazing potential in green power, in having renewable energy such as hydro and solar. However, Liberia still has one of the lowest grid connections in the world. And this lack of energy infrastructure is really a key factor that limits the economic growth of Liberia. And that is why the EU has partnered with Liberia in the energy sector. And I'm really proud to say that the European Investment Bank has been part of this investment into rebuilding Mount Coffee. And I think just building on what NEC CEO just said, if you just watch this documentary on YouTube on the rebuilding of Mount Coffee, it just shows how long it takes to get the money together, to do the tendering, to do the construction. And I think people forget that it's only in 2015 that Mount Coffee was reopened. So I think even what LSC Executive Director said, even for a connection to Semenco, you started the talks in December 22 and it started in May 24. All of these takes time, and these are investments that are needed but that take time. So I'm proud to say that we have been part of the support to the rehabilitation of Mount Coffee, but also of CNSG and of the West Africa Morocco. And in the coming years, hopefully too, through the European Investment Bank, be part of the same program too. We have seen in Europe that what Monica Tan was talking about, this regional integration and regional energy market is really good for economic growth. And that is why we want to promote this also in partner countries. And that is why CNSG is so important, so that you can benefit from each other's power. And indeed, as you were saying, that Liberia also sells to CNSG in the coming years. And that will really happen. In Monrovia, the EU has funded the Monrovia Consolidation of Electricity Program, and that has ensured access to 52,000 households. We have also supported the formation of the Liberia Electricity Regulatory Commission that has enforced the energy legal framework in order to decrease losses of energy. And we have also, what is really important also, is to set up this internship program for young engineering students. And those are now just being part of the energy market here, these engineers. Through this providing a reliable ringed network within Monrovia and its surrounding, this connection from Semenco to NEC has been made possible. So we're very proud that we have also supported this connection. And of course, this providing this very important business client to NEC, a business client that will pay and that will pay on time. I think this will pave the way to increase NEC's profits so that NEC can improve its sustainability and increase the trust in NEC's ability to provide affordable, reliable, and sustainable electricity. And as was said before, we're also very hopeful and very happy that we have contributed, and we are contributing to the connection of the international airport to NEC through our contribution to LEAP, which is providing energy connection in the RIA corridor, but also in Maryland and Rivers G through the Fishtown Nebo connection. And I was in Maryland just a few weeks ago, and we really see what the difference can make there, electricity. Recently, we were together in Buchanan, where we laid the ground for groundbreaking ceremony for the electrification of Southeast. So we're gonna electrify through a grant, Buchanan, Greenville, Barclayville. And that will really pave the way for decentralization and for having more economic development and economic growth in the southeast region there, because it will provide access to reliable and affordable renewable energy again. So increasing access to more households and decreasing carbon emissions. So we absolutely, through these actions, support Liberia to achieve its commitments to provide by 2030 access to energy to 35% of the population outside of the capital. And this will of course also benefit young people who represent half of the population of Liberia. And I also want to emphasize that it is important that also women benefit from these possibilities, both as engineering interns, but also of course as major consumers of electricity through their businesses. Energy is crucial, and so are roads. And this is why the European Union and the European Investment Bank have funded road construction in Liberia, notably also the Sanikele Water Road, which transforms the lives of people and which allows more cross-border trade to Côte d'Ivoire. And again, this is where regional integration is important. Not only regional energy integration, but also road connections. We share this common development interest with Liberia through many, many thematic areas, like energy, like roads, but also like Tibet, technical and vocational training. And this is where it's important that we meet the needs of the private sector, that the trainees that get out of those, that come out of those schools, are those that are needed to get jobs in the private sector. We're also developing currently a program that will support private sector development in Liberia, because we all know that there are still major bottlenecks in the business environment, in the investment climate, in the regulatory environment. And we want to have this public-private dialogue through the Chamber of Commerce. And this is again where I look back to Semenko and the European Chamber of Commerce, because it will be important that you play a leading role in this program. Foreign and domestic investments rely on transformation of the economic, financial, and social-political situation of Liberia. And with investments, this private sector will be able to boost and to create decent jobs for all Liberians. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. But I'll call on Mr. Melvin Sharif, representing the National Investment Commission. See you here. We move down to the Ministry of Public Works, where we will have remarks from the Deputy Minister for Rural Development and Community Services, Honorable Josidia J. Tapla.
Liberia. Ministers here present, the management of Semenko, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Semenko has been providing service to Liberia since 1948. And today, as we all gather here in support of the commissioning of Liberia Electricity Corporation to the Semenko factory, we want to say this is a tremendous work. The Ministry of Work is a key beneficiary of the products produced by Semenko, since we are the government arm for infrastructure development. We are delighted by this news, and we commend you for your continuous coordination and support for the nation of us. I recognize and appreciate the LEC for the commitment in providing access to electricity, which is a necessity. This achievement is seen as recovery in improving the service and productivity of not only cement but other industries as well, which in the end is essential for economic recovery. On behalf of the Minister of Public Works, Honorable William Lafayette, kindly accept our heartfelt congratulations to all of you for your job well done. Thank you. Thank you, Minister Tapla. We now call on the Deputy Minister for Budget and Development Planning at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, Honorable Tenant Bronson.
Good morning. Please permit me to stand on the stage. I'm excited to be here today. First of all, on behalf of my boss, Honorable Woman Kamara, we thank you. Know, at the other day at the groundbreaking ceremony for the electrification of the Southeast, in my comments, I made a remark. I asked, now that we have electricity, what do we do with it? And I think this is a shining example of what we do with electricity. So in our development space, in our development plans in the past couple of years, a major binding constraint has been flagged in terms of access to electricity. And it seems that we want to write back now. Thank you, LEC. This project, or this commissioning, is not only for the electricity, the energy sector, but also for industry and commerce sector. Public Works talk about roads. Most of our construction we need cement. And I'm sure the rationale for cement going out to make sure that they have access to electricity is so that it reduces the cost of producing cement, and eventually will impact all of us. So I think this is a very remarkable activity and very remarkable event. And again, thank you, LEC, for being proactive. And I see you have a lot of things in the pipeline that's coming. And hopefully we will reduce the cost to all of us. But we want you to know that we are proud of you, we're proud of your achievements, and we look forward to supporting you in your work. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Minister. We now call on the cluster head of Heidelberg Cement, Honorable Hubert Frank, who will make his remark.
Good morning, honorable ministers, distinguished guests, colleagues. I would like to start to really thank all of you. You are very busy, and to take the time out of your very busy days and your very busy schedules to be with us here is something we really do appreciate. So thank you very much for that. I work for Cemenco's mother company, Heidelberg Materials, and we are operating in 5 African countries, 5 West African countries, and over the last 3 months or so, I spent more time talking about electricity than in the last 10 years. Unfortunately, mostly in some of these other West African countries, it was not a happy occasion like today. It usually had to do with what the press is referring to, the West African energy crisis. We are struggling in many, many of these countries. So it's very refreshing for me today. It's very happy and great occasion to be here today in Monrovia and not manage a crisis, but really celebrate a huge success story. And I was very excited as well to listen to the speech of the CEO of the energy company. It clearly shows that you have a plan, that you have a vision. I have to be honest, when we started the project, we thought about, can we be reliable? Will there really be electricity? But I think the vision you've presented today has put us in a lot of comfort. And maybe I can send all the colleagues from the other companies in your direction, and you show them how it's done. You show them the Liberian way. This project is more than a successful project. It's almost a symbol. It's a symbol on how private industry, government authorities, government companies work together. It started a few years back with an idea. It was an idea between two engineers. And the idea developed into a vision. And very important, a vision for the benefit of both parties. A true synergy. And both parties, and we had the two project engineers here talking about it, it turned into hard work. And Manoj, our works manager, he was very polite. It was a bumpy road, a few setbacks, a lot of hard work. But we stayed true to the course, both parties stayed true to the course, worked together, and finally make it happen. And it was that magic day when the cables were connected, electricity was flowing, and progress started. And to me, this is a great symbol on how we want to move together as a country, as public corporations, and as private industry. We are a company here in Liberia, Semenko, if I'm not mistaken, William, we were founded in 1968. We've been here a long time. Our mother company, Heidelberg, built its first cement plant exactly 150 years ago. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because we are a company that doesn't think in months or in years, we think in generations. We truly believe that, especially in our business, long-term partnerships truly matter, and we need to work together really with a long-term vision to make all of this happen. Now, when you're a private company, you have to find your way in the market. You have competitors, that also want to sell cement, and you have to stand your ground, and you all have to find your way to differentiate yourself. Now, we as Semenko, as Heidelberg, we like to do things a certain way. There are a few guiding principles that guide us not only here in Liberia, but in the 45 countries that we work, and that for us are not negotiable. And some of these principles are, number one, we never, ever compromise on quality. Because we've also made the experience that many of our customers also think in generations. I have many customers where, we do business with the grandson who says, well, granddaddy founded the company, the construction company, and we've been buying from you all ever since. Why? Because we can trust your quality. Another guiding principle for us is we truly believe it's our people that makes a difference. Anybody with enough cash in the pocket can build a cement plant. You call a Chinese supplier, and these days everything seems to be coming out of China, but you can call a Chinese cement plant manufacturer and you can build a plant. But to run a plant successfully, to run it efficiently, to produce quality, what really makes a difference is not the equipment, it's the people that run it. So as much as investments in equipment, we invest in our people, including here in Liberia. We have the majority of our workers are Liberian, but not just the workers. Many of our management team I see here that are local Liberians, young, ambitious managers that are the future, and that is definitely our objective, to build young talents up, and at the same time give all colleagues in all 45 countries the opportunity to share knowledge. We have people from Liberia working in other countries. We have a few colleagues from all over the world working here, and this is how we define our progress. And last but not least, since we think in generations, we also find it very important that we operate our plants and our business in a way our grandchildren can be proud of us. We have to operate in a way that they can look back and say, well, they made this world a little bit better and did not exploit it. We have to regain our social license to operate every single time, every single day. And as a group, we are very, very much committed to, and many of my previous speakers have mentioned it, to manage the transformation into a CO2 neutral world. Our mother company is the first company to produce a completely CO2 neutral cement, and I can tell you, this project here, we've discussed the cost, we've discussed the reliability, but the fact that we were able to turn a fundamental part of our electricity into hydropower, into something that is sustainable, was a very, very important aspect for us, and a very, very important commitment. Now, how do we move forward? Again, I've said this is a bit of a symbol for us, and I like to believe that this project is not the end of something, it's the beginning of something. I like the spirit. What are we going to do with all this electricity? And the answer is, let's make wonderful products, let's build this country, let's think in generations, and let's move forward. Including the speech that Moni has given, you can truly feel it in the air here in Monrovia, that the country is looking forward. It wants to develop, it wants to have a bright future, and we would like to be part of that. And I can assure you we are 100% committed as Semenco to walk this path together. Now, if I look at the agenda, if I'm not mistaken, I'm the 11th speaker. So when you're the 11th speaker and the last speaker before drinks are being served, you have one main objective, and that is to keep it short. So let me maybe close with that today. Say you thank you again, and let's walk this path into a bright future together. Thank you very much, and thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Frank. Now we are talking energy, and we cannot speak energy without hearing from the energy minister, who will climax the speeches before we move to the signing ceremony. Without much ado, I would like to call on the Minister of Mines and Energy, Honorable William P.
Thank you. A lot has already been said, and so we just want to, in this public manner, recognize the Ministries of Finance, Public Works, the National Investment Commission, which should have been here, and other agencies, and our very committed partners in the diplomatic community represented here. And I'd like to recognize the EU Ambassador, Madam Ambassador. It has been topical all throughout the different discourses you've been listening to, whether it was or the ongoing Korea-Africa Summit. Energy is very topical. And I want to let you know that under the arrest, energy is key because everything hinges on energy. No wonder then that His Excellency, the President of Liberia, under his agenda, the arrest, has stressed the need for energy access for all as a policy goal, important policy goal. And so I want to thank this moment, LEC management and Semenco. And this is key, not just because Semenco is being connected. We do recognize that Semenco has been here since the 19th century, contributing to Liberia's infrastructure development. We appreciate that. But energy is also key even to the other sector, mining, and that's essential. And so this is a beginning of LEC expanding its services to other sectors. And I'd like to take particular note of the emphasis that the CEO made on non-traditional sources of energy, because that's essential, very, very essential. Hydro may take years to install, but non-traditional sources can take maximum, say, 2 years to install the infrastructure. So it's an opportunity for the LEC to look beyond that, and the management and ourselves have been looking at that and considering that, because we need to change the approach. No wonder why the policy approach by this government and by our ministry is for us to move fast. We cannot afford to waste time. We appreciate support from our partners. We appreciate support, but we also want to encourage private sector investors to venture into the non-traditional areas. That's key. Mining companies, major mining companies that use a lot of energy, need energy, but we cannot currently meet their demands, because we have to generate it in order to distribute it. And those of you who've been following closely, you saw recently the difficulties that we are having within the cross-border. And that's important. No wonder why energy sovereignty is something we cannot negotiate. It's non-negotiable. We have to achieve it. It's tied to the security of a state, the economy of a state, and the economy of Nigeria hinges squarely on how and what we do to achieve energy sovereignty within a reasonable period of time. And His Excellency the President has stressed that over and over again. I want to thank the LEC management and encourage us to move ahead. That's why as a ministry we are pushing for National Energy Policy Review, which is ongoing. We want to make sure that the electricity law of 2015 is amended to make it up to date and give LEC the kind of support and necessary strength it needs. And lastly, before I take my seat, since we took over, we have been stressing this. We cannot be requiring the ordinary citizens to be connected to the national grid through a prepaid system, while we, as government institutions and agencies, are doing postpaid. And this is what we have been pushing and will continue until we can achieve it. Honorable CEO, the LEC has to draft it. Fortunately, Madam Bronson is here. We've discussed that Ministry of Finance, all of us. Prepaid for the ordinary citizens, prepaid for national institutions and SOEs. So I want to thank you and congratulate you on this achievement. We want all the companies out there to add on. And since we now have reduction in our cross-border inputs, we have no choice but to move a little faster. So I want to thank you, Mr. CEO. I want to thank our partners and the Simengo management for this great achievement. You have given a boost and the confidence level that other industries need to connect to the LEC grid, the public grid. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. You know, the good thing about serving as master of ceremony, you keep your audience in suspense because you have the final copy and you are in control of the program. So, at this juncture, I will call on Madam Woto, we have said everything, and it is time for us to hear from the finance lady, who will also, I'm sure she's decided to pay some of these bills as Semenco gets connected. So she will now come and give us the vote of thanks, after which we will call on the CEO of LTC and the Managing Director of Semenco to please take the table. Immediately after the vote of thanks, we will go through the signing ceremony, and then we will have a group photo with all of our speakers, and then the second photo will include everyone else. Thank you.
Good morning to all. Loretta, I wanted to show you that Semenco, if you check the records, they are one of the best paying taxis. They are all ready for that. So, anything should not be worried. Your bills will be paid on time or not. What is sitting here, I can show you that your bills will be paid. Okay, everything is said and done, and we have heard everyone speaking, and so it's about time that we come to say a big thank you to everyone who has spoken today. Honorable Ministers, member of the Diplomatic Board, Mr. Frank Hoddock, our first Managing Director, Managing Director of the Liberian Cement Corporation, is Honorable William Daniel, Mr. Monique Captain, LDC Managing Director, staff and members of the Liberian Cement Corporation and LDC. On behalf of the Liberian Cement Corporation, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests for gracing this very special occasion. It has been a wonderful evening. We also extend our gratitude to the support staff, especially the technical team of Semenco and that of the LDC team, who have made it possible with tireless support behind the team efforts and every one of you that made this project a success. We would also like to thank the event organizer, Advantage and Roberta and Jaffe. We want to say a big thank you. Semenco looks forward to a solid partnership with LDC going forward, because it will now play a very important role in our day-to-day activities, especially when it comes to producing cement for our country. Because we need our houses built, and the cement has to be produced, and we need cost. So, Mr. Captain, we look forward, we rely on you, trust your credibility that will have our authority as we will pay your bills. I once more want to thank everyone for coming to this very important occasion. Thank you all.
Thank you. Yes, yes.
So that we put our starting position of just
So you have to find a place that you can. Yeah, please, if you set your camera, then you swap the camera.
while we await the CEO of LEC over here, I just wanted to quickly read the agreement. Agreement for connection to the electrical grid between LEC Company, presented by Honorable Monique Captain, Chief Executive Officer, after referred to as LEC, and Liberia Cement Corporation, Cemenco, presented by Mr. William Ghana, Managing Director, after referred to as Cemenco. Purpose of the agreement. LEC and Cemenco agreed through this agreement to finalize and formalize their collaboration regarding the connection of Cemenco to the LEC electrical grid. Terms and conditions. LEC commits to providing and ensuring a secure and compliant connection between its electrical grid and Cemenco's facilities and Cemenco facilities. Cemenco commits to preparing its facility to ensure a seamless integration into LEC's grid. Commissioning. The official commissioning of the connection to the grid will take place on Wednesday, June 5th, which is today, during an inauguration ceremony in Monrovia. Commitment of the parties. Both parties commit to closely collaborating to ensure the success of this operation, including the necessary logistical and technical coordination for the inauguration. Confidentiality. All information exchanged in the context of this connection will be treated confidentially. Signature in witness hereof, the parties have signed this agreement on June 5, 2024 in the city of Monrovia, Republic of Liberia, during the inauguration ceremony. For LEC, we're going to have its Chief Executive Officer, Honorable Monique Captain, and for Cemenco, we have its Managing Director, William Ghana. We'll now go into the signing ceremony.
Good.
All of the speakers, please come up and do a group photo. All of the speakers. We now call executive of LEC and executive of Cemenco. Please join the photo. Executive of LEC and executive of LEC, executive of Cemenco. Honorable Natalie Davis. Honorable Natalie Davis.
La Bible
Okay, everybody else except the two, the MD and the CEOs here that you please join them. Last something to say? Thank you all. We're going to have light refreshments served by the Mama Boys Hotel. Light refreshments.
So of course, thanks for following. This is Providence Television. We would love to say thanks for following this ceremony. It's about time that we shut down this coverage.